Ladies and gentlemen, please, has anyone seen Amelia Davis? She was last seen wearing a white pinafore and red hair ribbons. Please let the Davis family know if anyone has seen Amelia.
It's this really tragic story of the New London school explosion back in 1937. The Girl in the White Pinafore is a one-act play that follows Amelia Davis, one of the children who died, and Mr. Shaw, the superintendent at the time, who blames himself for the gas explosion and is haunted by the ghosts of his past. The story is about forgiveness and letting go. So I think we got the monologue a week before auditions. So it was a John Davis monologue, which that was my dad in The Girl in the White Pinafore, and it was about a dream that he had had.
There was a cliff. I was standing at the bottom with rocks and rubble everywhere, searching for Amelia, and I could hear Amelia. Beautiful, but dangerous.
I don't like to expect things, so I just go in and do my best, and whatever happens, happens.
They started to fall one by one, but together at the same time.
Amber, you're nuts.
I'm sorry. Break a leg. Break a leg.
It's kind of funny because at the beginning of the year I said that I didn't want a lead in the competition show because it's so much pressure, and then I ended up getting the lead.
And I have come to the conclusion that we would like you to be Amelia Davis.
Thank you.
I don't know, I was just so happy that my hard work from previous years had paid off and that Ms. A would trust me with such a hard role.
Yeah.
You're gonna do great.
Thank you.
I was just really excited to be able to honor the kids that died. Honestly, I think I memorized most of my lines in 2 days because I was so excited to play the role and that it was my first lead. We rehearsed Monday through Thursday every week. A lot of the times we would do one run and then we would work through scenes that needed to be worked, or a stop and start run through.
So when you do this, play it.
I think it was harder to run the whole show, just because when you're doing it over and over again, it's hard to feel the same emotion. If you're doing it 4 to 5 times a week, it's hard to fit reality.
I suppose that's the morning part of it.
And it was always really, really tiring as well, just having to portray that much emotion every time you did it.
That's a different kind of morning.
I really worked on the last scene a lot just because it was really hard to feel the emotion and the anger that this girl felt towards Mr. Shaw.
Mothers, fathers, writers.
And it was really hard where I'm just so angry and just given up because I've never felt that emotion. Yeah, the end scene was definitely the hardest part for me. Just trying to not overdo it.
Tell her, Sam. Tell her.
So when I was talking to Shaw, it just kept going through my head 85 cents.
85 cents.
We were worth 85 cents.
I was worth 85 cents.
And that would just play over and over.
That's not right.
And I'd just be hopeless. Why? For $200, almost $300, why? You took 300 lives.
85 cents. Sam.
And then when Sam came
The
in,
last thing I told Mom was I hate you.
it's just the thought that I told my mom that I hated her and that I never get to see her again.
Now give me a kiss. No. I hate you.
Amelia! Amelia!
Then she shows up. I feel like she really helps Amelia to let go. Amelia knows that she has to let go so she can be with her family, and she can't hold on to that anymore.
I know the way. Let's go now.
Amelia, it's time.
Our first competition was districts at Bayside High School.
Copacabana.
I remember being really excited. I wasn't that nervous for that one, actually.
Okay, guys, you have about 35 seconds.
And I remember that was one of the best. I feel like we just all put our all into that one. We all just connected really well with it.
And no one else.
No, ma'am, it was mine alone. Mary, Mary, Jack and Jill, how many children did it kill?
I wasn't really nervous. I was just excited for people to see it and what their reactions would be.
That's enough! Amelia! It's time.
What do you feel like you did really well on?
The end scene, which is my worst scene, so I love that one. I really felt it. It was just crazy because you hear audible sobs from the audience, and that was just crazy that we could evoke that emotion.
Together at the same time, falling like, I don't know, rain isn't the right word for it.
And it's not us that are bringing out that emotion, it's the story.
I tried to catch them to save even one. All of a sudden, they weren't birds anymore, Mary, they were kids.
And our first place finishers, the Grizzlies of Grassfield.
Hey, Augie, tell us what time it is. I don't know. Say it's 8:30. 8:30. Are you tired? Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
You were soft. I was really proud of you. Hey.
The background was just right. It added to the effect of the scene. Great yielding to the temptation to stereotype his character.
So regionals is at Bayside again.
Janessa has a ladybug in her shirt.
What's that mean?
It means good luck. I found a ladybug in my shirt and I named her Petunia.
She's good luck. No, name her Amelia.
Her name is Petunia.
Your presence makes all the difference. So be where you are needed. Lucky number 2, your color is red.
Oh my god.
You're gonna take a step forward.
Oh, I did the wrong foot. My heels are sinking. Oh no.
And then I'm gonna form the bird.
I was relieved that I was on the same stage that I had been on, just because it's like a comfort thing. There was one scene where I had to run like all the way around the stage, and I had like 30 seconds to do it. So it was a relief that I had already been in the space and knew where I had to go.
Oh, they look so pretty. Oh yeah, look at. Oh, there's also scissors. Ooh. Okay, we need scissors. You don't have scissors?
Thank you. I'm coming. Thank you. It feels so weird. Hand up. I need John.
Your Region 6A one-act play competition champions and heading to the state tournament to compete. The Grizzlies of
I cried when we got first there, just because I was so relieved that we got to go to states.
Holding everything to do.
And then for states, we traveled up to Charlottesville for the weekend.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
What time did we wake up today?
5 a.m.
5. Do you remember getting dressed in the bathroom and then getting in trouble?
Yes, I forgot about that. I was at the community college. That stage, that one's really nerve-wracking because the seats, they're angled up so they can see you from all angles and you can see them. It's so nerve-wracking. They're literally right there.
Stages where the door is, and I want you to go ahead and see what that crossover is like.
I was nervous just because I wanted it so bad, and I knew that our show was so good. Before we went on, we were doing warm-ups. Miss A went in and she was telling us that this show is one of her favorites and it holds such a special place in her heart.
And I want you to start breathing together. Just breathe.
No matter what happens, we honor the kids and that's all that matters. And I remember just getting so emotional just thinking about that. A lot of things went wrong at States, but we pulled through. We were all so happy with our performance that we were just like, we left our best on the stage, so that's all that matters.
Because I'm like, I'm Amber. She played Amelia. She was in the one we just watched. She's amazing. Oh my God.
Okay. All right. So we will start with our Outstanding Actor Awards. And this is one of those real-time moments when Ms. Condulis takes care of me, because this morning I erroneously announced that we have 5 of those. I still had Scholastic Bowl on the brain from last week. So there are 4 Outstanding Actor Awards that will be given out, and in no particular order, I'll call you up. And I'm going to do my best on a few of these names, so please bear with me. Again, this is in no particular order. Amber Levesque.
I won Best Actress, so there was 4 of us. It was me, Kevin.
Kevin Poole.
And then the 2 guys that were from Langley. But I don't know, just the fact that I got that award solidified that like all the hard work I put into that show has paid off.
All right, your 2019 Class 6 Virginia High School League Theater runners-up, Grassfield High School.
I feel like even though we didn't win, we won something else.
For the next hour.
5, 5. I was jump roping in the wing. I'm honestly afraid. Because everything was wore out, yeah. All good.
So it was March 18th, 2019, not 1937. Mary, Mary, Jack and Jill. So it was 82 years after the actual explosion. We did a fundraiser for the museum in New London.
This pellet was shattered right to the right feet. There's nothing I could do, man, nothing.
And we raised $561 for the museum. I just thought that was so cool that we could raise that much money, like in honor of these kids, considering that they were only worth 85 cents. And now they have $561 towards them. Awesome. Yeah.
I died!
Just how many did it kill?
So me and Jackson got to play brother and sister, and he liked making fun of me on stage.
Alright.
Getting to do scenes with Dominic will definitely be one of my favorite parts.
Trinity. And this one up near his eye? Well, that's supposed to represent the tears Mary shed for Jesus.
We grew so close during this show. We all grew so close during this show. I can't even imagine losing any of them in an explosion.
That's a different gun warning.
Sam, do you think girls can fly?
They're my family, and I'm just so thankful that I got to do it with all of them. It's really made me think about how I treat people and like in general, like your relationships with people, what you say, and your actions.
How you doing? I'm like, oh, howdy. Like, that's just a casual thing I say. You too?
Yeah, this show makes me really emotional.
It needs to be. I want you to imagine.
I just want to thank Miss A for trusting me with a role like this and for letting me blossom through it.
It might get uncomfortable. God, there's beauty in moments of being uncomfortable. Know that. And it's that where you can touch a soul, where you can cause a tear, where you can cause that you're doing something right.
The end scene where I let go of the dove, it was hard.
I don't know how. Maybe I know the way. Let's go now.
Amelia, it's time.
Sam,
It's like you're letting go of that show.
But if he's not healed,
You have to have faith. Amelia. Here, take him. Let him go.
And you're letting them fly away,
Go, gracious spirit.
Amelia?
It's time to go home, Amelia.
And you just know that you've honored them as best as you can, and that so many more people know about it now. I don't think I'll ever let go of them. I think they'll always be in my heart, but she has to leave me to move on. And so do all the other kids that are in the show. Eli, Ethel.
Mama said I have to give him back.
I tell you what, the bell's about to ring. Why don't you go on and get you some fresh air?
They all have to let go.
What? Nothing. Just got a quick chill. Somebody must have walked over my grave.
I felt such a weight portraying that character because I just felt like I couldn't do her justice. Throughout the competition process, I didn't really feel her presence, but when we did it for the school, it was on the actual day of the explosion, which was March 18th.
1937. I died.
We did a line through beforehand just to get it in our bodies. And then we kind of just walked the stage and there was just so much emotion in that show. Literally the night before, I had a dream about the explosion. And the day I was in first block, I was reading my script and I just felt this weight and this presence. Something that I've never felt before. And I just felt so embodied by her. That night I felt, okay, she's here, I am her. She's there, she knows that I am her. The whole day I could feel it. Sorry. And then when it came to performing the show, I just walked out on the stage and I could just feel that. And I remember I saw Timmy and I just hugged her and I was like, they're here. And it just felt so good to know that they knew that we were doing something for them. Sorry. Yeah.
Gracious Spirit, heavenly dove, with light and comfort from above, be thou our guide light of truth to us display.